Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of In Our House. Today we have a special guest. He hasn't been on since, I think, the 4th of July episode that we did with the Indie Boys. So please welcome Andi back on the podcast.
What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
Glad to be back again. It's been a minute, so.
Yeah, it's been a little while.
So
I heard you pulled your hamstring.
Oh,
a little
yeah.
while back.
I was like, I completely forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah. I was playing soccer. I actually joined one of the IUPUI intramural teams.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So a friend of mine invited me to play soccer, and then I was excited to play because I haven't played soccer in a while because I played soccer in high school, and my first game back at the intramural, I was going for I was sprinting, and then out of nowhere, boom! I hear my hamstring a pop.
Oh, you
Yeah,
audibly heard a pop?
Yeah, and I low-key got scared because I was like, man, I was thinking about the gym more because I was like, just one game. I was like, I came here to have fun for one game, and then I get injured.
Yeah.
But thankfully, it wasn't like a full tear. I definitely pulled it because I had a little bruise on my hamstring.
Yeah, because I remember we saw each other. I think you came up for something. I can't remember what it was.
I was helping.
What a move! Yeah. And you showed me the bruise on your hamstring.
Yeah.
It didn't look crazy, but still, I had never seen a bruise like that.
It was a decent bruise because I felt it the next day for sure. It was I knew that after they finished the game, I knew I wasn't gonna feel anything because it was straight off the game, all hot and all the adrenaline from the game. But the next day, it kind of hurt a little bit to walk on it for the next 2 days, and after that, thankfully, it started getting better.
Wait, so it popped and you still continued on playing in the game?
No, I stopped playing because I was I'm not gonna risk
yeah, especially because it's they're just a team for fun.
Yeah, it's not a big stake game,
Yeah.
It was just for fun, like you're saying. And plus, my priority was to get back into the gym, especially since I'm making a lot of progress right now. So
Your first thought was probably dude, I can't squat anymore.
No, literally, I was
squat, deadlift.
It was for leg days. I was literally, the leg days recently have been really boring and really simple, but I've been taking it really slow to make sure I don't risk getting injured, a full tear or something,
Okay.
So it's all been rehab work, just stimulating a little bit, but not to the point where it's a lot of force and risk getting re-injured.
Right. You're just trying to get it back to where it was.
Yeah. So right now it's right now it's definitely still tight right now. I'm really consistent with stretches now, so and I can feel it's a difference right now. It's still tight, so it's still in the healing process right now.
Okay.
Yeah, when you guys were helping us move in, I was super serious about you not lifting anything, and I didn't know it was that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like your injury, I didn't know it was that crazy. But if you couldn't help lift anything, and I was scared that you'd sprain it, I was like, oh dang, he really messed the shit up.
Yeah, I was saying, I could definitely feel it for the next 2 days, but thankfully it's been healing now. It's been 2 weeks now, so.
Oh, nice. You probably have another 2 weeks until it's healed.
Probably 2 weeks, like you're saying. Yeah,
yeah.
It's been getting better. I took a whole 4 days off the gym, just to
smart. Okay.
Because I was I'm not gonna risk it. Either I sacrifice 4 days or I sacrifice a whole a longer time for
a year plus maybe if you get if it actually pulls and tears.
Exactly. So
shit, that's cool. So what's your because you said you were making progress. So what kind? What are your?
So right now, my main goal is to cut while maintaining the strength. What I've been doing is really taking my diet really seriously. I meal prep every week and cook consistently to make sure I'm aware of what I'm eating and putting into my body, and cardio too, pushing it at the gym heavy weights, and just more cardio and being really consistent with diet has really been helping.
Nice. You doing your cardio after your lifting session?
So before the gym session, I do 20 minutes of walking, and then at the end I do Stairmaster for 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how I feel. Nice. Yeah.
Because it seems like you said you were doing heavy lifting. I feel you were already doing heavy lifting before.
But
what's your definition of heavy lifting?
Staying around the same numbers as before I started.
So 600, 500.
No. I've really been doing more volume than actually pushing. I went to go lift with a friend, and I was telling him that I haven't bench pressed in forever. I really been focusing more on the bodybuilding type of aspect of lifting. So more cables, more machines, more mind muscle connection instead of
isolated stuff.
Yeah, instead of focusing on just pure strength powerlifting.
Yeah, well the cool thing is that you're already really strong, so now you can push still heavy weight, but for you, you're able to feel the muscle more. So then that muscle breaks down that much more. And you know what I mean?
Naturally, unless like you're on gear, because you're cutting, you're gonna lose some strength.
Yeah, it's like inevitable,
so,
you know?
Yeah, so you have to like mentally prepare yourself for that. If you can't push the same amount as you were doing like 20 pounds heavier, like that's natural.
Yeah, I know. I'm very aware of that. You know? But thankfully, like my strength hasn't decreased a lot since like I've started like the cut, but I could definitely notice it's getting harder to like push the same weight. I'm like,
shit.
Yeah.
It kind of hurts a little bit, right? You're like, I used to be able to do this like real easy.
Like that's the bad part about cutting, because you're like, I feel like I enjoy like pushing my body and like being able to lift super heavy.
Yeah.
And like putting that aside to actually reach my other goal is like to look aesthetically like good, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like looking aesthetically good is way harder than just like moving weight.
Yeah, it is, because you have to be
getting to the point, because you have to get like super strict on your diet, super strict on your workouts, and like it's hard to stay consistent with it.
That's exactly what it is, staying consistent with it. Like I could easily decide not to cook one day and like eat whatever like fast food and call it a day. But if I really want to reach my goal, I have to be consistent with my diet and my training.
How's that been? Have you had any like fallouts?
I would say definitely last week because of like just my injury. Like I took like 4 days off and I was like, screw it. I went out with friends and then we went out to get the Freddy's.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, dang. And that kind of hurt a little bit, but but I'm like, it's okay, it's okay. But like, I make sure to get back on track as soon as possible.
So how's Vaso, dude?
Oh,
I know we talked about it a little bit a while back, but like I'm low key a little jealous.
Dude, same. I'm really
that
jealous
you're hitting Vaso every day.
It's honestly a really beautiful like gym. It's a commercial gym that you want to go to. It's like it has like the cardio machines are all clean. Like all the aesthetics is like what, red, black, and like gray. So it's like aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, dude.
And thankfully everything's like really clean too.
I've noticed. I went to, the one where when we first met and we worked out that one time, and it was super clean.
Yeah.
Like it was like really well taken care of. All the machines were new. You know, it looked nice.
Like I feel like part of it is like the workers, and they're like they really keep up with like the maintenance. Like you see them cleaning the trash cans, or they consistently go to the restroom to check if everything's all right. And there's actually like wipes everywhere, so it's like it's on you if you don't take care of the gym as well too. You know?
Yeah. So Vaso's like the Chick-fil-A of gyms.
I think it is. Like it's like for commercial gyms. Of course, there's like non-commercial gyms that are really nice.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to commercial gyms, I say it's one of the top.
You know, in Indiana they only have 3.
I think I know that. I heard of that.
Yeah.
So
Lafayette
2 here and 1 in Lafayette.
Yeah, Lafayette, Eagle Creek, and then Greenwood. Those are the only 3 in the entire state of Indiana.
What?
And
Dude,
I
you're
think-
lucky.
Yeah, I know. I was like, because they were supposed to open this one like a long time ago.
Bro, I know. I was still living there when they were supposed to
Yeah.
open, but I think COVID.
It was COVID.
Yeah, they like shut it down or postponed it.
Yeah. That literally took like what, 2 years for them. I was excited because we went to because we actually met when we first met. We went to work out at a Vasa gym. So
Yeah.
and I experiencing the Vasa gym for the first time, I was like, dang, I want to go to a gym like this.
Yeah.
And then to hear that they're opening one like very close to where I live, it was like really
We're
nice.
only like 10 minutes.
10 minutes away, so I was like,
dude.
perfect.
That's so nice.
The one I've been to is the one over in Lafayette, and we went, I think, last year. It was me, Gabby, and Maricruz. And dude, I went in there. I'm like, this gym is nice. And now, like, there's a bunch of LA Fitnesses getting remodeled, and I think they're trying to copy the aesthetic of Vasa just by like the equipment that they have, and like they're adding turf now and all that. And like they're adding 3 Olympic platforms and like a power cage.
Bro, they had to compete somehow, man.
Yeah,
like literally.
So thanks to Vasa, we're getting a slight feel of how the Vasa gym is in LA Fitness through the remodels.
It kind of sucks though, like, because I like my first gym was LA Fitness. Like, I went there all the time. That's my first gym, like commercial.
Like
gym.
the first one you signed up for?
That I signed up for.
Oh, shit.
But like, it took Vasa to come in here for them to actually start remodeling, you know?
Yeah, it makes you feel like they were taking advantage.
Yeah.
And being like, oh, you don't really care. You were just holding us because you held like a monopoly.
It literally,
You know?
Their only competition, like as far as commercial gyms, was Planet Fitness, and that's like
Yeah, but Planet Fitness is different. Like people who lived seriously, they're like, I'm not going there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the people who like live seriously at a commercial gym, LA Fitness, up until Vasa got here. So they're like, oh, dude. like for example, the one that's at Eagle Creek, before they opened up, LA Fitness probably like, like we're not going to really upgrade our stuff because, I mean, if you want to go to Avasa, it's like 40 minutes from here. Like, I don't think you'll make the drive. But now that it's like 2 minutes away, they're like, oh, dude, we got to do something.
Bro, they're basically right across the street from each other.
They literally are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely like loved how they had the power like racks and everything and the, like deadlift platforms. And they have like even though like a lot of people go there, it doesn't feel full. Like you still have like equipment to go through, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they remodeled the Marsh.
Yeah, like
You know,
that's a big space.
Yeah, it was a old grocery store that they like gutted on the inside and turned into a gym.
They did a really nice job, to be honest. Like if like Vasa, like I feel like because they're a smaller company, like you're saying they only have 3. If they had the funds and they just opened a whole bunch of gyms, they could probably take out a lot of commercial gyms out of business.
Yeah, so in one of my projects, we're like studying like the social media marketing, like their whole campaign behind like a company, and my team chose Vasa Fitness, and so there is 50 or 52 total in the U.S., and I think in like 25 of them or close to 30 of them is in like Idaho. Yeah, but they were founded in Colorado. Okay. Yeah, but there's like 50 of them, or no, there's like 20 to 25 of them in Idaho.
So how recent is this like Vasa? Like how long?
I think they came up in like 2011.
So
wow.
Hold on, let me check that because I feel
that's 11 years. That's real recent.
That's like impressive to build gyms because gyms require a lot of down.
Expensive. I had taken a fitness management class last year, and for a gym that's about the same square feet as have you ever been to Snap Fitness?
No.
It's like
an Anytime.
Yeah.
You know Anytime Fitness?
Okay, I've heard of Anytime. Yeah.
It's like that small, but a gym to like you have to have at least like $500K to open up a gym like that small, because one, gym expensive. Well, if you want good gym equipment, obviously. One, gym equipment is expensive. 2, like there's licensing you have to get. 3, like the lease on the actual place, and then like maintenance on the gym equiment. Yeah. So it's just to open that up is expensive. And also in that class we did research on how much it takes to open up a Planet Fitness, and I think it's like $1 million. So just open up a Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And then imagine with Vasa coming in and taking out a whole grocery store and like building everything, and then their basic membership is $10 a month,
which is crazy because $1 million to open up a Planet Fitness that doesn't even have like a free barbell. Like all of that stuff is Smith machines. Like those are cheaper stuff. Yeah, like Vasa's got Smith machines and like barbells.
Yeah, dumbbells. And like Olympic plates and platforms and all that stuff, you know.
So that's a lot of money, bro.
Okay, so I just made a fool of myself. It was founded in 1996.
Okay, that's a little.
And not in Colorado, in Utah.
Wait,
at least you fact checked yourself.
What would you say? They had like the most. What state had the most Vasas?
Shit, hold on. I said it was Idaho.
Okay.
But let me go on the website.
Watch it be Utah, where it was founded.
Oh, this man did not help on the project.
We just started it. We're like,
that's funny.
Okay. I know, dude. That's why I was like, I literally made myself look like an idiot.
What's been your favorite experience at Vasa since you moved from LA?
I definitely say the squat racks. Like it's
a different feeling, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's none in Idaho.
Bro.
Oh shit. And there is 25 in Utah.
So it
with
is
2 the building 2. There's 5 in Arizona, 11 in Colorado with 2 building, 3 in Oklahoma, 1 in Wisconsin, 2 in Illinois, and 3 in Indiana.
Dude, that's crazy. Only 7 states have them, and we're lucky enough to have 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
But it is a different feel squatting in those Olympic platforms.
Yeah, it's like the overall aesthetics like makes you want to go to the gym.
Yeah, right?
And like the lighting is like so bright too. Like even though like, because I go at 5 a.m. sometimes like I'm tired, but once I walk into the gym, like it's so bright that it feels like I get awake like right away because of just the lightings.
Yeah.
And then like there's like turf field, there's like a turf area to stretch. That's something I appreciate now, like for stretching, like especially for leg days, like having an area to do lunges.
Yeah, and like fully like warm up.
Yeah, and there's also like a whole bunch of kettlebells, like yoga balls too. So
yeah, a couple of sleds probably.
They have a sled there too, and I was like, oh. it's just like it's like a gym for everybody. Bro, I feel like I'm promoting Vasa. Like I should get paid for this. Like I know.
Yeah. We're gonna cut this whole part out of the podcast.
I swear.
Damn, dude, I'm jealous.
Should come down.
Super jealous. Our gym that we go to is now getting remodeled, which
next
is next week. So I'm hoping they add more because they already have Olympic platforms. The one that we go to,
they have 2 platforms.
But like the plates that they have there aren't the same plates that are used after the remodel. Because the ones that are used at the one that we go to after it was remodeled, the like 45 plates were blue. The 25 plates were, I think, green.
But they're still like the 10s are still as big as the 45s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's I hope they get that part fixed because I know on one side of that like a machine's broken, like a cable machine there is broken.
The training area over there.
Yeah. So like the training area over there, looks like a ghost town. So.
Yeah, what's a training area? Like technically, only the trainers are allowed there, but I mean, people go there and do their thing there. Yeah,
I'm excited for the remodel though.
Yeah, I'm hoping it looks nice.
Yeah, but going back to you cutting, Andy, what's the stopping
Damn, bro,
point?
you okay?
No, yeah. What do you mean?
Yeah, he said you're cutting.
What? I was like, what?
You cutting weight?
I was like, is there something wrong with me?
What's your goal to that? What's your stopping point? Like, do you have a stopping weight? Are you like tracking your body fat percentage?
Good question.
I don't feel like it's a scale thing, like a weight thing.
It's purely on how you feel and look.
How I feel and look, you know? Because I guess the scale can be deceptive.
Yeah.
Because let's say you're a bigger dude and you're massive and like a high like muscle mass. Of course you're gonna be heavier than I guess somebody bigger with a higher percentage of fat. You know?
Yeah.
Makes sense? Like, does that mean the one that has a higher body fat percentage of fat healthier than the muscular one? You know,
have you thought about like getting skin folds done? Or I think Vasa may have like options about like actually finding your body fat percentage.
I think they do have one, and I think you get one for free once you sign up. So I still have that.
Oh,
so I could probably use that one and then see my progress. Like,
yeah, because that would be a nice reference. Like, obviously you could see like progress
like visually,
but like actually knowing like that you lost a certain percentage of body fat would be pretty nice, and like even knowing like what body fat percentage you are now is nice too.
I actually might consider doing that now that you bring it up.
Yeah.
Just to see how far I can take it. Like,
yeah, especially if the first one is free, it's good as like a benchmark.
Yeah.
And then like however many months later on, like if you want to pay to get the second one done, like I think that'd be pretty dope.
That'd be actually I might do that because it's free. Like you're saying, the first one is free, so I might as well.
Do it. Might as well. Even if you don't get it again, you at least know kind of where you're starting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool. So are you trying to see like visual abs?
Hopefully, eventually, you know, that's the goal.
I was telling Karen, I was like, dude, I'm trying to see visual abs at least like for a certain like in my lifetime on me, you know, like even if I don't have it for forever, I want like a period of time where I have abs.
Just like hella pictures and be like,
bro,
I had him. I told you, I had him.
Yes. They will be all my profile pictures. I'm gonna post another one.
Then you see Pablo in the middle of the night. He's like seeing his abs.
He's just sitting there like, oh yeah.
Oh shit, dude.
Honestly, I wouldn't even know how to act if I got abs.
I was just thinking that, dude. I'm like, I'd literally walk around shirtless.
Literally.
Bro, it changes you.
He used to have them in high school.
Back in high school, I would run all the time, so like my body fat percentage was really low, and I was super skinny. And because of that, like I had visible abs, especially when I laid down and did a slight crunch. Like you could see it. I'm like, dude, this is so cool.
You see Wedo at the dinner table.
Yeah. He's like, oops, I spilled water.
He goes.
He's walking around like this all day, just fucking crunching his abs.
It's a really nice feeling, but I feel like I don't know. I was always at the point to where I always wasn't comfortable with like the body fat percentage I was at or like how skinny I was, because like when I was super skinny like that, dude, I thought I was fat, and that's just like mentally dumb on my part, because like I look back at pictures and I'm like, holy shit, I was skinny.
Bro, I can relate to that. So like I was looking at soccer pictures from like high school, and I was like, I remember during the soccer season, I'd be like, damn, I'm so big, like I feel fat. And now looking at those pictures, I was like, dang, I was in good shape because I was like running every day for practice, you know?
Yeah.
And I was probably like the fittest back then.
Yeah. Well, you said you were a midfielder, so you regardless you did a lot of running back and forth on the pitch.
Exactly. And I was like, dang, like you're saying, you're like, man, those were the good times right there.
That kind of taught me to like realize like where I'm at now and be like, because right now I would say I'm the strongest I've ever been, like ever, because like squat, deadlift. My deadlift is, we talked about this earlier, but I never deadlift. I only deadlift to make sure I can hit 315 and I'm good. But like I feel like I'm at the stage in my life where I'm the strongest I've ever been, and I feel like I'm going to get stronger. And I'm realizing that and not telling myself that like, oh, I'm weak as shit. Yeah, it might be like I'm still kind of weak, I think, but like I'm realizing that I'm like, okay, I'm kind of strong. Because like back then I was like, dude, I am fat as shit. I would wear like a small shirt and there'd be like this much space. Dang. I was so skinny.
Damn.
Yeah, and also I feel like part of it is like because you're comparing yourself to the top of the top. Like think about it, like what's the percentage of people that can bench 225 or even squat 315 or 225? You're like way above average.
Yeah, but like because we are surrounded by like on our Instagram feeds and everything, people who want to shred it and can like they warm up with like 405 plus, you know. So then when you compare that to yourself, you're like, damn, bro, I'm weak as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, but go out to a random person on the street and be like, hey, how much can you deadlift? They're probably like, I've never deadlifted in my life.
Exactly. So like, that's like also thing like being proud of where you are right now, you know? Like even though you want to get better, like be proud of where you are right now.
Yeah, it's part of enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
As far as cardio, what do you do for that?
Like literally just 20 minutes of walking before and then 15 to 20 on Stairmaster.
Like you do like incline walking?
No, just straight flat.
Have you tried incline walking?
Yeah, but
which is not
yeah, not yet. Probably once I get deeper into cut, I'll probably add those little things more. You know?
Oh, it's more of like a dude, I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, I guess it's more of a warm up just to get in the feel of it. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. So go
ahead. No.
I was gonna take a hard shift and talk about the change in your major at school.
Right, yeah.
I want to talk about that because it was you went from like the medical field to like the tech side.
Yeah,
like a complete 180, bro.
Yeah, I mean obviously there's like medical tech and all that stuff, which is from my understanding what you want to get into, but like dealing with the human body versus dealing with computers, that's like a huge different thing.
Yeah, I was gonna like for the longest I was telling myself that I wanted to be a physician assistant, you know, and I feel like I was selling it to everybody else and myself, and you know what I'm saying? Like it was
like you said it often to like in your head, like you're like almost telling yourself that
I'm gonna do
hey, you're gonna be this, even though in the back of your head you're not. You're trying to convince yourself that you were.
Yeah, and I feel like so right now in my senior year, and I feel like it showed throughout my like, junior year, sophomore year, and like freshman year, like I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So at first I was a computer science major, then I switched to biology, and then I rode biology all the way till junior year. But in order to become a PA, you had to do a whole bunch of prerequisites, like do job shadowing, go to like gain experience.
Yeah.
But I wasn't doing that. And like I feel like that should have been like a telltale to be like, I'm not
like
passionate
a huge flag to be like, hey man, like you're not doing what you need to be doing. Like why is it?
Yeah, and I feel like it took me a long time to realize this, but I'm glad I realized it now instead of later. Like that, I wasn't going to be happy in this field, you know. And like I went through the scribing. Like last episode we talked about that, how I was a scribe. Like I saw what I needed to see, and actually like one night I was like in my head I was like, I knew I wasn't enjoying it, but I saw the excitement of the people around me. They're like, oh, he's a scribe, he's finally getting experience. Like my family, my friends are like saying stuff, you know. Yeah. But deep down I was like I don't know if I feel happy with this.
Yeah.
And one night I was like, man, like almost like praying. I was like, if like close the doors that are not meant for me and open the doors that are meant for me. And literally the next day I get an email saying I was terminated from the scribing job.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So like, part of me was like, my ego was hurt because I was like, damn, I was not good enough to be to be a scribe.
Yeah.
But like, I literally prayed for those signs to be like,
Yeah, dude, you literally you asked for a sign and bam, there you go.
so I was like part of me wanted to be like prove myself again and like apply for another job.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, why would I do that to myself if I know I'm not gonna be happy doing that?
Yeah, like you're putting your energy in the wrong thing.
Yeah, and it took me like it was eating at me for a while because I had my classes ready for this semester, and I was like, if I'm gonna make a change, I have to do it now because if not, I'm gonna waste another semester.
Yeah, before I know it, you're gonna graduate and be like, damn, I wasted my time.
Literally, and so literally the day before classes started, I changed my whole schedule. Like I talked to the advisor the week before, but I was still iffy, hanging about it. And I was like, you know what? I got to pivot. Like I know I'm not going to be happy. Yeah. Why stay here instead of pivoting towards something different, you know? And for the longest, I think you could probably recall some conversations talking about the tech world.
Well, because when you told me that you changed, I don't know if you remember. I told you, I'm like, yeah, you've been talking about this since I met you. Mm-hmm. I remember at the Vasa when we went to work out, like it came up through conversations. And the first time we all got together at Pita and Valentine's, and we all stayed up like drinking and stuff, like, and everyone was asleep, and like it was me, you, and I think Pita, but she like tapped out a little later. But that came up. You were super interested in crypto and a bunch of tech and like Web 2.0 and all that stuff that's going on. So I mean, the signs were there.
Yeah,
you know?
But it's like I feel like it's hard to change because I invested so much time into like, especially like a STEM major like a biology. It requires a lot of time and effort.
Right.
Like classes like anatomy, physiology, like you constantly have to be on the grind for those classes.
Yeah, dude.
And to like I don't know where just switch, it's like going against what I've been building for so long.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Because it makes you think like, why, if I'm gonna switch, then what was the point of you going through like organic biology, going through anatomy, physiology, like all these classes that are break-off classes, you know, and you passed with good grades. You're like, what was the point of me going through that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. Yeah. I was like, I spent so much time and effort, but like I know a lot of people probably going through this too, but if you want to change, you got to let that go, you know? Because if not, you're going to be going to something that you're not going to be unhappy with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, change is hard, dude, and I commend you for like knowing and taking that step into like actually changing your major instead of being like, oh, you know what, my family and friends like really want me to do the scribe thing. Yeah, I might have been terminated once. I'll just go find some other places. But you're like, you know what? No, like I really want to go into this other thing instead of staying to where you were at, since you were literally your senior year, you're about to finish and you change. So I commend you for doing that because it must have been pretty hard, especially like your last year now. Like how did that change your schedule? Did that like delay your graduation?
Yeah, it definitely delayed my graduation. If I want to graduate, I can graduate next winter, like next fall semester, if I take summer classes. And that was like one of the hardest things too, accepting that I was gonna graduate past the time that I expected to graduate, like past 4 years, you know? And especially because a lot of my family members know that I go to school. They're like, oh, he's about to graduate, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's like so close to like reaching his goals. And I'm like, and then I had like part of me had to fight that, like, or like overcome that, what's it called? Like that judgment or that
the expectations of your family. Yeah. Especially because, sorry to cut you off, but I feel like a part of it also is that, I mean, your parents, probably like my parents, like immigrated from Mexico. So you feel like this extra pressure to do something, you know? And like your parents probably like, oh shit, like my son's going to be a doctor or like help out doctors. It's like this like prestige that they can say about their son. And you being like, yeah, like my parents didn't waste their time coming over to this country. And now you're like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this other thing. It's still successful, but because it wasn't the first thing that you said you were going to do, everyone's like, why are you changing your mind?
Yeah. And I expect like moving forward that I'm going to get a lot of questions like, oh, weren't you supposed to graduate this past?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
Dude, I feel you. I was supposed to graduate like a year and a half ago. So like when the 4 years came by, my dad looked at me, he's like, so like, how's school going? And I was like, Well, like, to be honest with you, like, because one, I had to take a semester off because I lost my 21st century scholarship because my mom started working and I had to report her finances to Fast Fund.
So mom screwed you.
Yeah, so thanks, Mom, for trying to support the family. But because my mom and dad made too much money, I didn't get the full scholarship. I got the Franco Bannon, which is right under the 21st, but it wasn't enough to pay off everything. And when I found out that I didn't have the full scholarship, it was already like 5 days into the semester. So like I got this bill and it was like a couple $1,000s, and I'm like, dude, I don't have this money. And I sat down with my dad when he had asked me, I'm like, you know what, like I don't think I'm going to take out a loan because my first year of college when I went to ISU, I took out a $5,000 loan because I was living on campus, and living on campus is pretty expensive. And we didn't have the money at the time, so I took out the loan for that. And I sat down with him. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to take out this loan. I think I'm going to take a semester off, save up money, and then start paying for school out of pocket from now on. And he looked at me, he's like, you know what? Like, it's not a race. Like, you finish when you finish. Like, you do. It's nice that he understood that. And he's like, you finish at your time. And because your time is not, if your time wasn't 4 years, it's not going to be like, you need to come to accept the fact that it might take you a little bit longer than everybody else. Like, I don't know if you know him, but one of my professors named, I think is Dr. Noggle, he went to school for like 6 years because he was like complete, like, one, he didn't really like see it as importance, but like, and then like towards the end of his college career, he started taking it seriously, and now he's in like this research programs. Like, he's a really smart dude. So I think it's really hard to not fulfill those expectations of other people, thinking that you're going to graduate in 4 years. But at the same time, I think it's good to realize that you made the change for the better for yourself.
Yeah. And I feel like when I made the decision, like, I always preach this, like, if you do something for others, like, just because you want to please them, you're going to hold a certain resentment towards them. And if they really care about you and love you like your parents, they're going to accept you for who you are and whatever you decide to do in life, as long as you're happy, you know? Because let's say I went through with the whole PA thing and I wasn't happy with life. And then I blame my parents for it, you know? Then I would, instead of holding love for them, I would hold like a certain like resentment towards them.
Yeah, because they made you go to the PA school.
Or they expected me to. Like,
yeah,
you know?
Expected you.
Like, or fulfilling their expectations.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like more often than not, most people spend more than 4 years in college. Because Gabby took more than 4 years. Guidance gonna take more than 4. I mean, so far I'm on track for my 4 years, but who knows? Maybe later on I'll be like, yeah, I'm not gonna do marketing anymore. You know?
You never know.
Yeah, who knows? But more often than not, I feel like people graduate more after 4 years. You know, they like halfway through or sometimes they're in college. They're like, you know what? I don't really like what I'm doing right now. So,
and I feel like I commend those people that actually take action and decide to change it. Like, even though it's, you're trying to, if you're doing it for expectations for others, it's hard to change, you know?
Yeah. Which, in my opinion, is, I think it's kind of rough. I mean, I know society expects you to go into college right after high school, but I think it's kind of rough because you're like 17, 18, leaving high school, and you're going into college, probably taking out loans if you didn't get like a full ride or something that can cover the majority of your bills. And then you go into college and you don't really know what you want to do. You're like, I'm just going to do this thing because that's what interests now. But then later on, halfway through, you're like 20, 21, and you're like, you know what? This isn't cutting it. So then you switch majors, and now it extends your time in college, extends your loans and everything. So I feel like, I'm not saying for everybody, but definitely the majority of people after high school should take a couple years off just to kind of work, decide what they want to do, and then like really think about what they want to do, and then go into college if that's their path.
I think I agree to that to an extent, because the other way you could look at it is they can, I mean, obviously if you take the time off to, I agree with you, but I also agree sometimes maybe going straight to college, sometimes going straight to work after school kind of just delays the inevitable of what you would do a year after going back to school, because like let's say you go to a factory job and work there, and then you kind of don't really like, school's in the back of your mind, you're not really thinking about what you wanted to do, but you set your mind to like, oh, in a year I'm gonna go back to school. In a year you go back to school, but you just do the same thing. You start school like, I don't really know what I want to do, and you still have those like 5 years of school. It just like delayed the inevitable. But at the same time, I also see where you're coming from as far as like going out and be like, you know what, I don't think it's really smart to take out all these loans going straight to college, because I legit don't know what I want to do. And for those people that mentally know that and accept the fact that it's not smart to go to college because they don't know what to do, I think that's a good choice for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you go out of school, get out of high school and go into a job, I feel like don't go into college unless you know what you want.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah, just my food for thought.
Yeah.
Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like the hard part too is because I was on a 21st century scholar, so like you can only take a
You
1
only have
year,
a certain amount of years.
1 year of a gap. So
yeah.
Like in total?
Yeah, so I was like, honestly, I feel like it would have been a different story if I had to pay everything out of pocket. I probably would have dropped out because I wasn't sure what to do, you know?
Right.
Oh,
you would have
okay.
just gone through with the PA.
Yeah, maybe just gone straight through the PA.
Yeah.
Because you were paying out of pocket.
Like
Or,
if I was paying out of pocket,
yeah,
I was so deep
essentially.
into it, you know?
Yeah.
But like I would say thankful to like scholarships. Because it's when you change majors, not just about the major, you also think of the financial, the time. It's a big decision.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean, like the financial and the time?
Because let's say you have 0 scholarships, you're saying you have to take more loans,
Yeah.
more time in school, you know. Yet you like loans keep piling up
Yeah.
without having like a real like output of it, you know. Your
I
investment.
mean, bro, that Biden loan forgiveness, the application's out right now, man.
Oh, shit, for real?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
have
I'm going to have Gaiden fill it out.
the loan forgiveness is you're forgive up to $20,000 in loans.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
That's wild.
I want my GI Bill money back.
Wait, what?
I said I want my GI Bill money back.
I don't get it. I laughed
because
but
when I was like, but it's because well, I mean, if there's a loan forgiveness, but I went the path of the military to use a GI Bill.
oh, okay, I get it now.
I'm like, okay, so then what about my 4 years?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
give me that money instead, you know?
You're like, what the fuck did I go to the military for?
Yeah.
So, kind of going back to the major switch. What was your major before, and what is your major now?
All right, so I was a biology major,
Okay.
and then I switched it to biocomputing. So I'm still taking biology courses. I still got like right now I'm taking Orgo 2, and I have biochem left for Orgo, and then after that is just straight computer science classes.
Okay.
So my goal is to build up enough experience in the computer science like programming type, and go into front end development, which is like what you see on a website, or how you interact with the website, or the aesthetics of an app.
So
Basically designing.
Yeah.
So computer science is in a way just like designing like the image you see that on your laptop.
I guess computer science is a general
Yeah,
term
yeah,
for all that,
yeah.
but
It's like saying I'm going into the medical field,
Okay.
yeah.
you know, and there's so many, that's like the umbrella term, but he's talking about like user design and like interface. Like you open up a website and it's like how it looks, probably how easily you navigate through the options of the website, right?
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like I literally over the summer, like this decision was, I was thinking about this for a while over the summer, and over the summer I decided to actually take it upon myself and do like something called the Odin project, which it basically teaches you how to use GitHub, JavaScript, CSS, and HTML, which is the front end like fundamentals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I basically learned how to build a website from scratch, and it guides you through projects, and it teaches you bit by bit, and that's what really got my interest. And I was like, maybe
So
I could do this.
does that involve coding?
Yeah, it's coding.
Oh,
Literally, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are all like languages.
Dude, that's I think it's super cool because coding is like a whole different language. Like I've seen Instagram reels of like people coding, and it's literally just like shapes and like numbers and letters, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? They're like, oh yeah, like they designed their website, but something's not working. They look back at the code and they're like, oh, that R isn't supposed to be there. It's supposed to be an S. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's the pain about coding, though. Like,
because you're looking for one little error that messes up the whole thing, right?
Yeah, literally. Like, I think I was doing a program for my stats class, and I literally missed a semicolon, and I was like, why is this not working? And I was like, literally looked for this, and I didn't notice it to the very end, and I finally put a semicolon, and I was like, wow, dude, all that just for this. It's honestly, it's fun, but it's definitely hard.
It has to be very tedious.
It really is.
You need a lot of patience.
You do
for something like that.
Like every week for my computing class, we have like a project every week due. So he gives us a lesson, and basically we have to go out there and implement it on the assignment he gave us. And like sometimes it takes like the whole week to figure it out, because like you could mess up the smallest thing, and that breaks your whole code. And it's
wild, bro.
It really is wild.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah.
That's crazy. Cause so now what do you want to do with that?
Just like, front end. Like I really enjoy like the design aspect of it. Like I enjoy doing the CSS and JavaScript, HTML, like designing how.
Hold up. Sorry. What's CSS? Because in my head it's a
Chick-fil-A.
It's Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, bro.
So there's HTML.
I'm getting hungry over here.
Like sets up everything, the page layout. But CSS like adds like the styles to it, like the color, how it like the fonts or where it's on the page. And then JavaScript is more, it goes into like layout as well, but more like how does this work? Like type the button. Like what does this button do? Or what is this?
So it's functionality.
Yeah.
So HTML, I already forgot.
It's for like a page layout. It's like the bones. It's the skeletons.
Yeah, and then CSS is more like the design, where it's literally just how it feels.
Like adding like the color into it, and then
that's cool.
Yeah.
So in the future, do you want to like build websites and like sell those, or do you want to like be hired on by companies and be like, oh, I can build your websites like for this, like a gym website or like a podcast production website that has like all the stuff and like links to it? Like what's
either or. Like I feel like part of me loves creating, and that's why I probably enjoyed the front end development of it, because you basically work with a designer and it tells you like I want this here, and you have to program it to look exactly like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you have to be very proficient in all those three, to where when they say, can you make this look like this and then this button do this, you're like, okay, and you have to run all the code in your head.
Literally, yeah. So
you literally have to think like a computer.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Knowing how your mind works, it's probably not that hard for you.
It's probably how you think anyway.
I'm dead. But yeah, I'm glad that for the discomfort in my life, because if I wasn't uncomfortable, I wouldn't have never changed, you know? So I feel like if you're feeling uncomfortable in any aspect in your life, I feel you should take it as a sign that you need to change something. You know, like as hard as it may be, like it'll be worth it in the end, you know?
That's some good advice right there, man. I can definitely agree with that. But going into that, I have a question for you. We asked some questions. I got one because I asked some questions too. But
what?
I just realized that made no sense.
replay. What do you say?
Completely forget the past like 10 seconds that I just said.
It'll get clipped into a reel.
Yeah. Fuck. Damn it. But going into, you mentioned that you liked creating and stuff like that. Do you ever see yourself being an influencer? Because I know you like posting gym stuff on your Instagram or TikTok.
I don't know if that's my end goal, you know? I just like you're saying, like I just like creating stuff. Like I enjoyed making those reel videos on Instagram. If you guys have seen them, I enjoy making those things, or like making a website, seeing it from scratch and seeing what like I made with just the code, you know. But like you never know when you end up in life, like years down the line, you know. Like if I asked you 2-3 years ago, hey, what on Pablo, you would have a podcast that you film like every week, what would you say?
Yeah, well, I didn't start thinking about it until maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then I finally asked him like a year after that. But yeah, I mean, if you would have asked me like when I was in the military, I would have been like, why would I start a podcast?
And yeah, exactly. And I think like that's what's the beautiful about life. You never know where you end up or what doors will open up. You just got to be ready for those opportunities. In life, you know.
Yeah,
And
because
like if something pops up where like if something blows up, I'm gonna go for it. You know.
Yeah, because right now, because you're making like not consistently, but you are putting out like gym stuff on your IG, and like it's solid. It's like it's definitely a different style.
Appreciate it.
Which I like because a lot of gym stuff now is very like it's good content, but it's very quick, very like bam bam bam, you know, like super like cinematic or like really quick edits and looks dope. Yours more like low key. You got the whole thing there, and it's like it still has the same effect, but it's not like doesn't like fuck your brain while you're watching it. You know,
it's your own unique style.
Yeah,
and like you're
it.
good at it. So like honestly, man, like I think you should, especially now that you're starting your cut, I think you should record like your whole journey through your cut, like workouts and stuff, because you're gonna look at it and like let's say like you start now. How far you are into your cut?
Since the beginning of school year, so like
a couple months,
like
month and a half, 2 months.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you're gonna look back at it and be like, dude, like I had some progress. And then like on the way, you're gonna see people that are gonna follow you. There'll be some hate here and there, but like that's just the internet. But you're gonna see people that are follow you, and then you might encourage them to go work out. But like I think you're really good at reels. I think you should be posting more.
I agree. I definitely need to be more consistent about it. It's just taking out the camera and recording more, getting more clips.
But I feel like it's a bit easier at the gym that you go to, Vasta, because I feel like more people record at Vasta than like any other gym.
Yeah, that's something else I appreciate about Vasta. Like, I don't feel like judged because like I feel like a lot of other people are on the same wavelength. You know, like they have their whole camera set up, and I'm like
probably like stick a tripod looking like that one.
No,
like,
literally like
yeah,
and I'm like, oh, that's dope.
Shit, I like that because we went for his birthday. Well, his birthday's tomorrow, but yesterday we did a photo shoot at the gym over here at the LA Fitness we go to, and I definitely felt some eyes on me. You know, I caught some people looking, like we made eye contact because like I'd whip out the camera and like adjust the settings, like photo shoot him and like get close, like get different angles. Yeah. And I felt people kind of like looking like, what the fuck is this bozo doing? You know?
You definitely get those looks still, like because like it's a public space, it's a gym, you know, you're gonna get no matter what. But Vasta, it's a little bit more acceptable, as you can say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
dude, I think you should be posting more content. Obviously, I can't tell you what to do. Like your stuff is really good, and tracking your progress through posting your content, I think would be really nice too.
I appreciate that. I'll definitely attempt to post more.
Because I know, like, me personally, I've taken videos on my YouTube channel where, like, the day of, like, because I know you mentioned, like, sometimes it just has to be, like, picking up the camera and doing it. There's some videos where I literally didn't want to pick up the camera. I'm like, dude, fuck this shit. I'm not going to record today. I'm going to go, like, edit or something. I'm like, but if I don't record today, I'm not going to have a video for this week. And then I have to record early in the week so I can give myself time to edit for the rest of the week so the video can come out at the end. It's the whole thing. There's times where I pick up the camera where I literally have to tell myself to pick up the camera, go drive to wherever I'm going to film. If it's a soccer field, go drive to the field and like figure out what I'm going to do, get in the zone and just like film the video. Like, I mean, I haven't done anything crazy, but like as far as like making content, it's literally just about like doing it. And then like once you're doing it, it's going to feel like, oh, dude, like I might still feel like I probably should, like, I don't really want to do this. But like towards the end and like at the end, you're like, dude, I just filmed some content today. Hell yeah. I'm going to go edit it and then post it on Instagram.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get that.
You use on your phone? You just edit on your phone?
Yeah, just on my phone right now.
Yeah.
I definitely want to explore the laptop, more PC, more like desktop.
Yeah. It's very much your vibe. You're very, when I think of you, I think of like tech stuff. You know, like that's one aspect of you that I think about. So I feel like anything with like editing, whether it be video or like photos or just any creative stuff like that, I feel like that's down your alley.
I definitely want to get comfortable with like I took a digital design class too.
Oh, do you know? So that involves After Effects and stuff like that, right?
No, I used I think it was Adobe Photoshop. No, Photoshop. Yeah. That was the main one we used in school. So
because I'm trying to get the Creative Cloud on Adobe. I just haven't budgeted for it yet, but I'm trying to get it here soon. And something that's always interested me is animation. but it's one of those things that I don't know how to create. But I've come to realize it's because I don't know the software. I don't know the program well enough to be able to translate it from my brain into the computer. You know.
But
So.
just the more you do it, you get more comfortable.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, that's cool. I don't know. I was just go ahead.
Because you have a MacBook, right?
Yeah, MacBook. Yeah, I definitely want to upgrade it because
Is it like an older version?
it's an older version, and especially since I'm using it more to program now, like I definitely need a.
You kind of need some more power.
Yeah.
Okay, so then programming is the MacBook like the standard, or is it more like Windows?
It's either or. I don't think there's a.
It's just
one
purely
better than the other
preference.
one. Yeah, it's just your preference, to be honest.
Okay. Because I know I shit on. We did an episode and I shit on Mac on it.
You got a Mac now.
I have a Mac, and I can say I reached for it before I reached for my other computer.
Dang.
Yeah, and I enjoy this. The only thing I don't like is that I can't use Excel unless I go through like a thing. But like some of the buttons functionality isn't necessarily exactly the same as a Windows, which is whatever. But I find myself enjoying more my MacBook.
Yeah, I would say I agree with that. Like the buttons, like the keys are different. Like let's say you're trying to do Shift or Control Command, it gets a little
because
messy.
Control on the Mac is all, or on the Windows is like all the way over here.
Yeah,
But then on the Mac it's like right next to the space bar.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's less keys on the Mac than on Windows. Windows has like more options as far as keys.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to programming, I know that Mac Apple is very like about their software. It's very hard to like manipulate, I guess you can say, or mess with it. As Windows is a little bit more flexible.
There's more like an example I'm kind of trying to correlate with this is like what's it called, like video games. So like let's say you what's the thing called where like they add like characters into video games, like their own characters?
DLC.
Oh.
kind of like Jailbreak, but like they like let's say like in GTA like they have
Hacking?
mods.
Mods.
Dude, that took so long.
Oh my
Damn.
god. I was trying to follow you, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
So
bro.
picking for that.
I was like, I swear it's DLC.
Because like I feel like with a Windows for like coding and stuff, it's more like you can do more mods on it. As far as like Apple is like more like security strict.
Yeah.
You can't really add this because it might have a virus, which it might, but like get virus protection on your Windows. So like I feel like you can't do too much on Apple just because of that reason, like security. You can't really add too many mods to it.
I think that's what it is too. Apple security is very strict and like it keeps track of everything. Well, Windows you could do a little bit more. It's a little bit more malleable, like you're saying.
Yeah,
I like that. It's more malleable.
So,
I think that's a good description.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good word. He said, I like that.
You're good with your words, man.
it's like you go to school.
Yeah. It's like you're educated or something.
Yeah, but I would say I don't know much because I'm still very new to the, I guess, tech world. Like, more of the nitty gritty details.
Yeah.
So I still have a lot to learn, but it's definitely been enjoyable. Like learning what I've been doing in class, out of class. Like I literally when I go to the gym, I watch videos about programming to understand the assignment, and I'm like, I think that's a sign that I'm actually enjoying what I'm doing. You know?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
Like it makes sense. Like on my free time, I'm like, oh, I could learn this. You know?
So now is YouTube teaching you programming or your professors?
Professor, I say both. I say I have a really good professor. He's actually really well known in the community.
Oh really?
Yeah, like if you like literally through the Odin project, they link one of his videos.
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know this dude.
Yeah, you're like, let's go, professor.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy.
That's so cool, bro.
So, yeah.
It's always cool to see something like that because then you know it's somebody who's super credible and has stuff out there, not just for the school, but like for anyone in the world to use. And you're like, damn, like I'm in like their class. So that gives you direct access to somebody who's in the game and knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I say that's something I really appreciated about having my professor like currently right now, because like you can tell he's very passionate about what he does, and he's very willing to like teach you too.
Yeah,
and guide you. You know, like there's some professors that are like, all right, here's the lesson, here's this. If you don't understand it, go find it somewhere else. You know,
Marla Mock. Oh wait, that's not her name. Fuck, that's another professor.
It's staying in, bro.
What's her name? The physiology professor. Yeah, but what's been the most like frustrating thing? Kind of last question here, but what's been your most frustrating thing that comes to coding or like your new major in general?
I don't know, to be honest. I would just say coding, because it's like you have to like. There's so many languages you could learn, and every language has like a certain feel to it, and they all have their own purposes. So when you're learning a new language, you have to understand how data moves, or how certain aspects of the coding work. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
No, dude.
no.
You said data moves. I'm like, bro, how? Like, you mean like transferring a file this way?
Like, let's say there's some programs that allow you to add numbers and words, and it's valid. But with another language, you might not be able to add a number in a word, and they'll give you an error. But some languages may override it and be like, oh, you're just trying to put them together. Let's say you're trying to combine the word lamp and the number 2. It'll be lamp 2. But some programs would be like, that's invalid. You can't do that.
Jesus,
you know?
Oh, okay. So then, is there one that's like king, or they're all different, and you literally have to use all of them to make one thing, and you have to know which ones are good at what they do and where their downfall is.
Exactly, like you're saying, like every language. I want to say there's a language better than others. It's just the purpose you're using them for.
Like, is there like a universal one? Like for the world, usually English is a universal language that everybody kind of knows.
I guess the most common one you come across is probably like Python or JavaScript or Java. But
even then, you have to supplement that with other coding software, what you call it, to be able to do the things that those can't do, right?
Yeah, because I know he also teaches a gaming class, and most of it is in Java, and that's like mainly used for like gaming. It's very is used in the industry a lot, and I remember him talking about like small things like toasters and stuff like that, like smaller devices are programmed in C++ just because C++ allows you to manage the data, which is C++ is a programming language.
Sorry, bro, I'm kind of looking at you like you're crazy. Like, you said C++, you started talking really fast.
You know,
like,
it's
what's
like,
going on?
That's how I felt when I first started learning the program. Like,
Yeah.
like you're like, what does this all mean? But like, once you take the time and effort to like sit down and learn it, you'll be surprised on how much you can understand by just putting time and effort into it. Like, and I truly believe that you can learn anything you want. It's just a matter of time and effort.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind. You know, like you have the internet, you could search up how to do this, how to do that.
I learned how to change a battery the other day. Y'all are gonna shit on me, but I changed my first battery last week.
For what?
On his car.
Okay. On the remote control.
Yeah, the remote control, bro. No, out of my car, my battery died, so I went to go get a new one.
Okay.
But do they ever update that stuff? Like update like the language and be like, oh, this like instead of JavaScript, is there ever a new program that's used that's kind of similar to JavaScript that's using a different language or like a different coding system?
That's not where I thought you were going.
Oh,
All right. To answer your question, it's like there's definitely versions that come out. It's like updated. It's like any other software. Like it gets updates. It adds like certain features. Okay. If something like there's a problem with it, they try to solve it and add like different like stuff to it.
Okay.
So it is ever changing.
where do you think I was going?
Well, yeah, I thought you were going there, but then it sounded like you were saying, is there more languages that come out?
Oh, it kind of did sound like I said that.
There's definitely languages that do come out. I feel like there just has to be a demand for it and a purpose for it, and maybe down the line we're gonna have like a market.
But my hands are a little clammy.
Yeah, same.
I'm getting a little nervous. Why? I'm getting overwhelmed.
There's so much unknown.
Yeah, dude. I'm like, my heart rate's going up. I'm like, bro, there's so much I don't know.
Dude, low key, like my head feels like I just got out of class.
Yeah, like, dude. I feel
Thanks,
it.
Professor Andy.
I'm like teaching a class right now.
Yeah, dude. It's great though. I'm like constantly doing this. I'm like, dude, I'm like learning so much right now.
But yeah, like I was gonna say, like there's probably languages coming out. They're being developed right now for like a certain purpose. Like later on, we're gonna have like maybe there's gonna be a language specifically for metaverse or digital currencies or how to manage all that. Maybe there's gonna become a language for that. You know, but we don't know because we don't have the demand for it yet. You know.
But if there is, you're gonna be on the front line of that because you're like I already kind of know the basics. So then you just learn that one. You're like, all right, bet. Like
literally, that's the like in this semester. I learned how to code in C++ and in JavaScript. So two completely different languages within a semester. You're like, That's crazy. And I'm like,
That's the semester's like 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months,
roughly.
Yeah, and you're like, how can you learn 2 languages within like that time span? It's crazy. But like, once you understand the fundamentals and understand like that the languages are not so different. It's just the way the syntax is different. That's the only thing. But the principles are still the same.
Got it.
Which I think is really interesting because you'd be like, oh, I don't know anything about this language, but like, as you play around with it, do the simple things, you learn so much from that.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy because now thinking back when we first met over at Val and Pita's, you were talking about crypto and you were explaining to us about like how the blockchain worked. And like you were like you knew how it worked and how it meant, and now knowing that knowledge and like knowing how you change your major now, it all like these pieces in my head are being put together.
They're like it was always there.
Yeah,
but it's like
I've definitely. I feel like cryptocurrency was also like one of the reasons I like wanted to get into the tech world and understand crypto. I'm still in crypto. Like I'm still holding my bags.
Yeah, me too.
So,
yeah.
Are you adding anything?
Not recently, just because of purely funds that I don't have to put into it. But whatever I do have, I'm just holding.
Nice.
Yeah.
You think it's ever gonna get as volatile as it was last year?
I don't know.
I said no. Pablo asked me the other day, and I said no.
Yeah.
Because like the reason it was so volatile last year, and we'll not talk about this too much because people don't like crypto.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're towards the end, so whoever's listening at this point is the true ride or dice.
Shout out Pablo.
shout out Karen.
What's up, Ben?
Shout out Alma.
Yeah, but I think it was super volatile last year because it was all over the internet. Now it's like you don't see any news about crypto or like NFTs. Like there's some NFTs that I've seen that one example is Logan Paul bought an NFT last year that was worth $500,000. Today it's worth $5. I was like, damn.
But it could always shoot back up.
I see it as a like long term. It'll be high in the long term, but I don't think it's ever gonna go back to how volatile it was and like just like shoot.
I feel like that because it's like it's very new. Because people don't understand it, so people were just throwing their money into it, and the people that actually understood it, they're like, "Oh, I'm a sell high," you know,
money grabs.
And I feel like a lot of people just went into it blindly, not understanding. Probably why the market was so volatile. Well, all of a sudden you see like like a huge rise, and then all of a sudden a big drop. You know, just because the people were uneducated. But now moving forward, I feel like it's gonna become more known. You're gonna hear more about it. And even like the government regulating it will get the word out there more, and people will become more educated and be smarter with their money. So it won't. I agree. Maybe it won't be as volatile.
Yeah,
but it'll still have, I think, probably bigger returns, at least for a couple more years, compared to the stock market.
I think Bitcoin is the biggest, the top asset with the highest returns over like any. I forget since its existence, but like.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with Bitcoin or Ethereum. I
or
think
Ethereum,
those are the top two. Anything else in my mind is kind of like an altcoin.
Yeah,
that's like not really. I can't think of anything at the top of my head besides like maybe Polygon. That's good because Polygon is kind of like linked to Ethereum, right?
Yeah, either it's like a utility.
Hey,
I can't even say utility, or you're just gambling. You know, like for like Joe coins, like. Shibu Inu, or like what's the other one? Dogecoin, like stuff like that. That's like a joke. That's like a gambling. You're just gambling your money there.
That quite literally is a gamble.
Yeah, like I was saying, like once people become more educated on what cryptocurrency is, what the blockchain is, and understand like the bigger picture, people will be like, oh, this could go somewhere. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, shoot. Appreciate you coming back onto the podcast, man. It's been months since you've been on here. Last time you came, we didn't even have like tripods.
It's a big change. Even the name changed. That's how long I've been gone.
Yeah. Last time you were here, we were the PG Talk.
Yeah.
Now we're in our house. Yeah, but thanks for coming on, bro. We'll probably have you on sometime soon again. Hopefully, probably during maybe some time school break that we have because our school semesters are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys liked the video, don't forget to go down, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like and go down to Andy's stuff down in the description. Check out his Instagram. His reels are fucking sick. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
Adios.